you guys have come up with a plan of how to sort out the landfill, but I want to talk to you about what happens once you've sorted out um, into plastics, paper, and so forth. So we're just going to focus on plastic right now. And so basically what happens is the plastic's sorted, and then a truck comes and picks up all the plastics, and it's transported to a plastic factory. There they store all of the recycled plastic in a warehouse, and until it's ready to be sent for plastic processing, basically. And so here it says plastic is inspected and sorted. Remember, Mr. Lynch talked about having the triangles with the numbers in it. That's where they make sure that they have the right type of plastic. And then it says it's sit on for further processing. At this point right here, when it says further processing, okay, what happens is they actually melt all of this. So they add lots of heat and melt all of this plastic down so that it becomes like a big blob of plastic. And then they grind it up. So they take all the plastic, melt it, so it's no longer in the shape that it's in. And then they grind it up into small pieces. And then they pack those little small pieces into boxes. And then it ships somewhere else where they take those small pieces and melt them to mold them into whatever the new plastic is. So basically it gets picked up, gets stored, gets sorted again, and then it gets melted, which is a key component that we're going to focus on. It gets melted and then chopped up and then sent somewhere else, or to lots of other companies where they make new things out of the plastic. So one of the main things in recycling, not just plastic, but other materials, is they've got to add heat to it to melt it. And that's one thing that I want to focus on, because we need to talk about states of matter and how that deals with recycling. So usually you would log into StemScopes and watch StemScopes video, but since I've already started you on this video, I don't want you to have to do both. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video. I want you to do what she asks you to do. There's one point where she says pause and list some things. I want you to list those things. And that's what I want you to bring to class tomorrow. So
Oh man, I spilled my cup of ice. Huh, the ice has started to melt almost immediately. This reminds me of the birthday party I had when I was little, and the melted wax fell on my cake as the solid wax turned to liquid. I bet if I pick up an ice cube and put it in my hand, that the ice will start to melt even faster. The extra heat from my hand is causing the melting of the solid water to speed up. Soon there'll be nothing but liquid water left in my hand. So I wonder what would happen if I added even more heat, or tried to take away as much heat as possible. While I set these two investigations up so that we can answer our question, why don't you record in your notebook everything you've ever seen melt? While you were listing all the things that you've seen change state from solid to liquid, like butter and ice cream, the water in the beakers begun to boil. When we added even more heat with the hot plate, the water began to boil and evaporate, turning into steam and gas. We can't see the gas or water vapor in the air, but it's there. The water changed states when we added heat. I wonder what happened when we did the opposite. We removed the heat by putting the beaker in the freezer. I predict the water will be frozen solid. Yup, just as I thought. The liquid water changed states into a solid, otherwise known as ice. But wait, there's some liquid on the outside of the glass beaker. Could it be that water from the inside traveled through the glass and formed droplets on the outside? I don't think so. This glass is pretty thick. I don't think that water could travel right through it. So how did water get on the outside of the glass? Remember how we said there's water vapor in the air? Maybe when the heat was removed, a bit of the water in the air, in the form of gas, turned back into liquid water on the outside of the glass. I wonder if I were to heat and cool other liquids, if they would change state the same way as water did. I'm going to try it with orange juice next. While I experiment, turn to your neighbor and tell them a question you have that you'd like to investigate. See you next time.
Okay, so when you come to class tomorrow, I need you to make sure that you have that list. Actually, it'll be when you come to class on Tuesday. I need you to make sure that you have that list that of everything that you've seen that could possibly, when you add heat to it, melt. So just come up with a pretty good list, maybe 5 to 10 things of everyday things that melt when you add heat to them. And then we'll discuss them.